these on flubs. They can be edited out.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the way the interviews go are pretty very simplistic, nothing major.
Oh, no worries.
And at the end, I'll cut the recording and start a new one so that you can add on. We'll call it a video bite.
Okay,
And basically, it's introductions, and then you're listening to Cigar and Whiskey.
perfect.
Okay, so we'll start the interview, folks. I got a frog in my throat. I've been talking all day.
Oh, I bet you
Um,
have.
I'm not for this. My job is with UPS and the phone, so
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of talking.
well, yeah, yeah, but I like it.
Good.
Folks, I've got with me a very interesting individual. She's Canadian. The band's Canadian, which is even a double plus. I've got with me the wonderful and powerful Samantha King, and she decided to team up with three Canadian known musicians, which I apologize in advance. I don't remember their names. I know that together, her and them make up the Midnight Samantha King and the Midnight Outfit. So tell us about your bandmates.
Yes. So we have Mark Baudin. He's our bass player, and he's from Trois-Rivières in Quebec.
Okay.
Uh, I've been working with him off and on since about 2012, and we've actually worked together with his band, the Retrofits, as well. Just throughout the years, we've been playing together and putting. We actually put a different band together in 2018,
Okay.
which was called the Egg Trio, and we ended up going to Memphis together for the International Blues Challenge.
Oh wow.
And so we've been working together for quite a while, and after the competition, we worked together as that band for about a year, and then kind of went our separate ways. And then about a year later, I contacted Mark again and said, I'm really missing what we had as a band. And I thought, maybe we could get Chris Tabbert on guitar, who mainly is kind of a country guy. He plays with a lot of different country bands here in Alberta, and has been really busy doing that, and has had his own projects. And he's a gem. I feel like the guy can play any kind of music and play it really well, and he's just such a humble, quiet guy. You never know he was such a monster guitar player. So we got him involved, and Sandro Dominelli, who is an incredible jazz drummer, who I've
Hmm.
who I've actually played country music with. I've known him longer than I've known Mark. Actually, I met him in, I want to say, maybe 1999. I was singing country music at the time and working on a country album and all sorts of things, and so I did a few gigs with him back then. And I always wanted to get together and do like a blues project with him as well. So we called him, and we started getting together last spring, writing in Mark Baudin's kitchen. Every week we'd get together and start writing songs, and you know, we were really being ambitious. We wanted to put an album together in 6 months, and and release it, and just kind of get this thing going, because it's been on our minds for years. But you know time in our lives, this is, we know what we wanted to do as far as the music goes, and we just had to get together and do it. So it's been a long time coming.
So were the songs? There's seven songs on the brand new album, which is self-titled, unless I missed the title, but it's Samantha
Nope, that's
King
right.
and the Midnight Outfit.
That's right.
It's I've listened to it three times, and I'm probably going to be listening to it more as the months come back and allow me to do my radio show.
Oh gosh, thank you.
Uh, but folks, if you have been looking for any new music coming from the Canadian blues scene. Samantha King and the Midnight Outfit is a good starter for those that would like to actually see somebody young-ish.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Only because most of the people that I do interviews with, they tend to be not elderly, but they tend to be already up in their years. Eric Bibb. I'm trying to think of the bunch of people that the Marsha Ball, and there's a few up and comers that are still young. I mean, if we look at Charlie Acorn in Nova Scotia, he's one of them as well.
Yes, yes.
So, uh, did you actually just do this writing in one mad session, or was it over multiple weeks or multiple months?
To be honest, a couple of the songs I had lyrics for a few years ago. Um, let's see, Mississippi River and Mad Wind. I actually wrote when we just after we went to Memphis in 2019. I started writing Mississippi River. We came in ninth in the competition, so we didn't quite make it to the finals. And so we had a day off, and I went down to the Mississippi River, and I sat there, and I cried, and I started writing, and I came up with these lyrics, and they were kind of gospely.
Mhm.
And I remember sharing it with the guys at the hotel and thinking, oh, we got to do something with this. But it wasn't until this last spring that, when Mark and Chris and I got together, we ended up finishing it. So we would kind of take these stories or these lyrics that I had from, a few years ago, and kind of rework them into, something of our own. The song "My Baby's Got a Baby," I've had that song in my back pocket since I was about 16 years old. I didn't write that song. It was written by a great songwriter out of Sarasota, Florida. Her
Mhm.
name's Callie Chappell, and uh, she's got her own thing going on as an artist, and she had sent a CD to Randy Bachman, who I was working with at the time when I was 16, and he gave me this album to listen to, even though I was actually recording country music with him,
Mhm.
which is funny. But he knew, so he could hear it in my voice, and just the way I talked about Stevie Ray Vaughan. He said, "Oh, you got to listen to this. There might be a song on here you'd want to record." And "My Baby's Got a Baby" was one of those songs, and I fell in love with it instantly. But again, I was only 16, and the song's about having a lover. and and I just wasn't quite ready to record it yet. So
Uh,
being being 39
being
now, I think I can. So it's kind of been I feel like the album in a way is almost like a story over time, just sharing different moments of my life, and with the guys and everything, and so I wouldn't say it was necessarily a mad a mad rush songwriting session. It was kind of many many years just coming together within a few months.
oh, well, that's fun. At least you've got the mirth and mayhem
Oh
still
yeah.
tied in. So the lyrics were kind of pre-written, some of them, anyways.
Hmm.
And then you decided to flesh it out with the bandmates to
Yeah.
give it twists, putting in an extra word, taking one out, and so on and so forth, usually for lyrics. But what about the music? Did you actually assist in playing anything specifically? Do
I
you?
actually I don't play an instrument, but I did come up with a lot of the melodies for
Okay.
for a lot of the songs. I usually write melody first, and then I just come up with a story, and I'll sing it into my phone, and then I'll get together with the guys. And so a lot of the songs were started off like that, and I would come in with these ideas, and we would sit down. Mark would sit there on his acoustic, and Chris would have his electric, and we'd kind of just hash out some different arrangements and things. But yeah, a lot of the melodies, I came in with. Um, I'd love to, somehow be able to maybe learn piano someday or something, so at least I can, write the chord charts or something. but but yeah, and then we get together with Sandro, and make it even better with what he could come up with on drums. So it was a really cool experience. The last time I did an album was 23 years ago, and basically I, was given all these songs from songwriters and publishers all over Nashville and wherever, and I would just listen and then go in and record them, and I didn't really have any real say, I guess, in the musical ideas. I guess at the time I was 15, and but now being an actual part of every bit of the creative process was really, really satisfying, and you know it
Freeing.
feels, yeah, absolutely freeing. I feel really good about this, and it's like I said, it's been a long time coming. So to be able to do it with three guys that I really respect, and I love sharing the stage with them, to create something musical with them is pretty awesome.
Well, that's nice to hear. At the very
Yeah,
least, with your experience in regards to people trying to push music onto you
yeah,
when you were younger, maybe you'll do a turn and actually try to sell a song that you've written that doesn't fit you, but might fit someone that you know,
yeah,
which
absolutely.
which is going to be interesting. Have you This is a question that I've been trying to break ground with, but it's very difficult depending on who I ask. In your case, though, it's perfect because you were at an age period where you were being infused and steeped in country music, and you had people. I don't want to use the word because it sounds negative, but it's not. But they were pandering their works to try to get people to sing. And typically, when they do it, they either do it with a person in mind or they do
Mhm.
it just generalized. Then they'll see who fits the bill. Did you actually have to say no to any of these people that actually came up to you or Randy and say, "Okay, well, we've got this. Can you sing this?"
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Many times, actually. I mean, if it was ever a job, I've done a lot of demos for different songwriters, and anything from sort of gospel to folk to blues to country pop. I've done a lot of different styles of music, and I always have fun with it. But when I guess when you're working on your own project, you sort of have these ideas of what you'd like to say, and the style of the music itself, and who you're selling it to, and there's so many factors that go into it, I guess, when you're recording a project. But at the same time, when you're 15 years old, you really just want to sing. You just want to sing. You just want to go out there and sing for people and perform, and sing something fun, and something that makes you feel really good. So that's kind of what I did at that time. There were songs that were given to me for sure by Randy that we recorded, and we never really did anything with them. Just they just weren't quite where I wanted to go or what I wanted to say. I wanted something edgier, or there was always some reason why we wouldn't choose certain songs. But I think as a songwriter too, you write music based on your own experiences, and hope that others will relate to that. And if there's a singer out there that hears your music and wants to record it, I mean, that's a huge that's a huge deal. That's pretty cool. I did actually have an artist record one of my songs years ago. It was a song called Rain or Shine, and I'm having a problem remembering her name right now, but she was a gospel singer out of Australia, and so she recorded that song, and I recently just found it again on Apple Music and listened to it, and it brought me so much joy, and I was like, I wrote this. This is so cool. Hearing someone else sing your music, it's great. It's even better almost than hearing yourself sing it. It's pretty neat. So yeah, but I know it happens to all artists and all songwriters out there,
Pretty
trying
much.
to do your own
Now,
thing.
with
Absolutely.
your experience, did you have to go through a publisher to actually give the song to another artist, or was it just
Uh,
a straight trade between you and the artist?
in that case, the song was actually, so I brought the song to a songwriter named Tim Taylor in Nashville, and it was his ex-wife actually who was the artist who recorded it. So I think kind of gave her the song, showed it to her, and then she ended up recording it, and they let me know and everything, and everything, the royalties and all that are taken care of. So I just thought it was the coolest thing that she just even wanted to record it. It didn't matter to me how successful it became or whatever. It was just kind of an honor. But we did go through, as far as getting some of the music for my very first album, we did go through some publishers, and then some songwriters would just send us their songs on their own. They didn't have a publisher, but um, there's Warner Music Publishing was a big one that we got a lot of songs from them at one point.
Okay.
I did do a demo deal with RCA Nashville in the early 2000s. And so we went through their publishing company for those songs. So yeah, there's lots of different ways, but for me, I prefer just going straight to the songwriter, because if they hear your voice and kind of get an idea of who you are as an artist, I think it's easier for them to just go, oh, this song and this song and this song, I'm gonna send these to you. You're not just getting a whole pile of stuff that just whatever.
Starts off with this, and all of this.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, the amount of CDs I had at one time, just demos of songs, it's just crazy.
Yeah, well, I've got 3,000 CDs
I
usually
can
from,
imagine.
but not for musical reasons, because I've dabbled, I've played organ, I learned 1 year of piano or organ. Ragtime started calling me, so I learned the basic Scott Joplin, and then I completely stopped. I was on the track of literally being invited to go play in churches,
Wow.
but I was too young. I was less than 16. I was actually probably 10, between 10 and 13 at the time.
Oh my goodness.
Uh, which I turned down my music teacher politely, and I said I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. So, but I immensely regret it now. The only due to the fact that it would have actually opened the doors for other music for me for me to actually play a Hammond B organ in a blues tune would have been spectacular. But
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, I don't have the chops. So I took up the accordion. It's out of the accordion itself is out of tune, so it sounds like a wicked carnival ride gone wrong. Uh,
Oh my goodness.
I've took up metal drums with the like the how can I put it? It's in the right range to do some accompaniments, but I can't really do justice to any songs myself, even if I wanted to. Uh,
Well,
so
there's
coming.
always time. There's
Uh,
always time.
so that brings me, folks. I've graded albums all my life since I've been doing radio, and I've had a chart that would render people mad because I had points on originality, on points on how many members were in the album, how many tracks, what's the length, is it original tunes, is it this and that, and even going into the design of it. But um, I've decided that I have to redo it to a degree, but it was used for judging when I was doing Juno Awards.
Right.
Um, but
That makes sense.
your CD, well, or if it was a physical CD, anyone purchasing it, it's not gonna become a coaster ever.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say. Thank you.
Trust me, I've had musical artists come by and they said, "Here, play this. I want you to play this." I played it. And that's it. That's just the one time.
Oh, geez.
And it became, some of them became coasters or hanging chandelier pieces or God knows what else.
Oh,
But that's
goodness.
not going to be the case for this particular album. It's actually well done. I mean, I'm enamored with the fact that I can actually hear you sing above the music that's being played, which is important. Otherwise, there's no point in writing lyrics. You might as well just be screaming.
Right, right. Yeah.
So now that we know that you're in a band and probably touring during the blues season festival periods. I know the album is garnering a lot of reviews and a lot of attention. So, what's your is there any other album that's actually being planned as you're going around the festival areas?
Well, we're definitely not gonna stop with this one. We're planning on getting together soon to start writing again. So it'll probably be this month. And if if everything goes well and we're able to get a couple different grants and get some funding together, we should probably be able to release another album by next year. Um, that's the goal anyway. And we're not touring a ton at the moment. We wanted to just mainly focus on trying to get the music out to radio and to uh, kind of grow our online social media
Influence?
frenzy fan list. And and just kind of start small and work our way up, I guess. Because we've all been in this business for so long, it's like starting over again with this band. So what we want to do is just create a nice catalog that we can share with everybody as far as music goes, and really come from a good place. We don't want to rush anything. We've learned from the past that doesn't work. And so yes, so another album is definitely on our minds, and we will start working on another one, I'm sure, very soon. I'm not going
So
to wait another 23 years, Yannick.
no, but I mean, everyone matures at a certain level, and they eventually go, I really miss that. I need to do this.
Yes,
And
100%.
then most often than not, it's not something that happens like that. It's usually something that starts creeping over the back of your mind. It comes off the
Absolutely.
shelf. It tries to smother you.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
and then you blurt out the idea to other people that you want to be involved with, and they say yes, or they say not right now because, but I'll
Right.
take you down later, so on and so forth. But I'm glad that
Yeah.
you decided to actually do this.
Oh,
Um,
yes, me too.
as a person, because you're not just a woman with a thunderous voice. Um, do you even have time for hobbies?
Oh, I always have time for hobbies. It's funny. I find right now with like I work as a barista in a coffee shop.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
it's called Ace Coffee Roasters. Um, Shout out, shameless plug. And so I'm there a lot of the week, but I have a zoo at home. We have a very young golden retriever and three cats, and
Oh, okay.
so I'm looking after them as well as doing the music stuff, and it's life's busy and it's good. But I'm a big Halloween enthusiast, a big and Halloween enthusiast. I used to put on haunted houses for charity every year. This last year, I actually was an actor in this big professional haunted house in Edmonton called Deadmonton. Um, and that was a lot of fun. So, it's kind of seasonal, I guess, for me. Maybe my hobbies are seasonal. Coffee, cats, and Halloween. That's me.
Coffee. That sounds like it could make an album.
I think so. That'll be the next one. Yeah. It'll be called Covered in Fur.
Oh yes, cat fur. Don't get me there. I've got two
Oh
cats, same litter, sisters, and
my gosh.
the one is, I think she has the ragdoll bloodline
Oh,
because
beautiful.
she likes to suddenly flop and then she doesn't want to get up.
Oh, does she hug you?
No,
I've heard
unfortunately,
that's a
none.
trait for rag dolls. They like to
Yeah,
hug.
no, like I said, probably trace amounts, but
Okay, trace
no, no.
amounts.
I don't even know if the cab was a purebred because it was a two kittens that were being fostered, and then we went down to Fredericton to pick them up. Um, and then we took everything. We brought them to the vet, and we had them checked and
Oh,
vaccinated up to a certain degree. Had to treat an infection that one of them had. So,
oh,
but
that's so good of you guys.
no, they're rambunctious.
Yes.
Willow is the eldest size wise. No, wait, Willow's smaller and Luna's the biggest.
Luna. Aw.
And then they use us as their comfort pillows when they decide that they want to be petted or to be close to their human counterparts in the house.
Absolutely. When you're not feeding them or, treating them like kings. Indeed.
Yeah, well, they make fun when we go to bed. We can hear some martial arts cat wrestling in the living room.
Oh, I'm sure.
That said, and those hobbies put aside, the last question I could actually ask would be, what's your favorite food dish?
Oh, my favorite food dish would probably be stir fry of any kind. I'm a big stir fry girl. I love my rice.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us.
Yeah. I mean, ice cream's right up there.
Not sure if that would go well with in a stir fry.
Oh gosh, my diet's so strange. I mostly survive on iced coffee, so you can see why it's a little weird.
Yeah, no, I used to. My iced coffee's black.
Oh, okay. Ice Americanos or cold
No,
brew?
it's just lactose intolerance at the age of 16 forced me to take a detour into my own habits. Once in
Okay.
a while, if I feel fancy, I throw in some the vegan milk,
Okay.
probably soy or almond milk to
Yeah.
actually just give it color,
Just
other
just
than
something
inky
different.
blackness.
Yeah. Living on the edge.
Oh,
It's good though.
so
I feel like that's a good place to be. I've been trying to drink black coffee all my life. The only time I tend to drink it is if I'm dialing in an espresso machine in the morning, and that's it.
yeah, well, I decided to upgrade because our coffee maker that was bought just at the beginning of the pandemic decided to keel
Oh
over and
no.
push up daisies more than coffee
Oh
beans. So,
no.
well, we went and bought one more. We decided, okay, well, $30 coffee maker was fun, but it's also not making a lot of cups of coffee. It touted 12 cups, but for some odd reason, our cups are slightly bigger, so it was like three,
Oh
four.
gosh. One of these days you gotta splurge for a mocha master.
No, I decided to go with a Ninja product
Oh,
that
okay.
boasted with a water tank similar to what Keurig has, and
Okay.
a basket with the liner that you can easily rinse and reuse,
Oh, great.
and a special scoop, which every scoop that you use, it's two scoops of coffee
Oh,
inside.
great.
So you just have to grate it. I think the most I made so far was 10 cups of coffee in one brew. It was 5 spoons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, big coffee drinkers in the house. If we don't have it, we go absolutely crazy.
Yes, I believe that. I'm sorry to hear that that one shut down. That's awful. I wouldn't want to be you for
um,
that day.
no. Well, it's kind of funny because it took 24 hours to place the order on Amazon and then go from there, wait for it to be delivered. And then once it was there, I had to read the manual, had to do the rinsing, the washing, and then the cleaning, and then the first pot of coffee. Ta-da!
Oh, oh,
Anyways,
always
coffee
impressed.
adventures.
coffee. Yes.
They tend to mesh with people that are into blues and jazz.
Oh yeah. I knew there was a reason I liked it so much.
So the fact that you've accomplished this album is, to say the least, a stunning um, step in the blues direction that I hope to hear more of in the weeks, months to come, and
Thank
years,
you.
and probably in the next year if everything goes well.
I hope so
Um,
too.
Now, have you had any experience? I'm assuming yes, but I'm gonna ask a question like a twit. Have you had any experience actually doing submissions for grants on creating music?
Somewhat, yes. I usually ask someone who's a little more knowledgeable than me to help me out with it, or just pay them to do it, especially if they've had success in grant writing before. My manager, who I was working with, in the country music world, she wrote a lot of the grants, and we were really fortunate to get a good factor grant for that album that we did back in 2003. We've tried for a couple different grants. We're actually still waiting to hear from both Factor, and there's a couple other ones that we were trying out for. But mainly right now, Mark Baudin is actually handling a lot of the grants, and he's actually hired someone to help us out with some future grants as well, as he's more experienced, I guess, in the grant
Okay.
writing thing. So there's a course that I'm, just starting to take. It's like a Canadian grant music writing course, just online, I just want to, be able to know what it is exactly that they're looking for, and if I can help out in any way when it comes to writing certain things for that. But I think it's important for any artist that wants to do something in music and wants to be a serious artist. I think it's really important that they at least have an idea of what needs to go on a grant, even if they're not the one that's writing it.
Hmm.
I think it's important to know exactly what it is your plan is, and what you're trying to achieve. And so I think taking a course, any kind of online thing, I think would at least help for sure. So yeah, but for me personally, I just want to make sure that we actually get the grants. So so I'll hire someone who knows what they're doing.
I give you a better chance because it's, from what I've been told and from what I've seen with my own eyes, it's kind of a life and blood thing when it comes to the grants,
Yes.
because it does many things, but one of the things that it does is that for those that are looking for a way to create a new album, it doesn't necessarily speed it along at hyperspeed, but it does give a tremendous boost,
Oh, absolutely.
allowing to back up a lot of the expenses that you may need, that you
Absolutely.
you need to pay people, you need to pay studios, you need to do this,
Yeah.
do that. So it's I haven't dabbled in it, but many people tell me that they've had some experience in it.
Hmm.
Some, like yourself, that decide to go with one of their partners, or the partner's going with somebody that's well known in the music industry to writing them. So
Yes.
that's the nutshell. I mean, this is Samantha King, folks, and the Midnight Outfit is going to be in an area near you. Hopefully, we'll see them here in the Maritimes during
Oh,
the next few summers. But
that would be
um,
amazing. I would love to get out there.
so you guys are all living in separate cities, or are you in the same city?
So Chris and Mark and I all live in Edmonton, and Sandra lives in St. Albert, which is just right outside Edmonton. So basically, all of us live
Okay,
in
there you go,
Edmonton.
folks. All
Yes.
from Edmonton. Beautiful Canadian band, beautiful voices, beautiful talent. I thank you so much for taking this time, because I'm taking part of your day.
Oh gosh, no, it's a break from the zoo, don't you know?
As she says, while the
I
cats
mean, just look at this. I
purr.
can't get away. They're everywhere.
Oh, that's precious.
Oh, well,
Okay,
thank you
so
so, so much. I really, really appreciate this.
no,
I'm
well, I do this just because I find that uh, there's not enough done between human beings versus human beings that are doing it for pay.
I agree.
I don't do it for pay. This is something that I do as a passion, and it's also part of my volunteer job as a radio DJ.
Uh,
So,
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for your passion. I think that's awesome.
well, thank you, and I hope that we'll see you in the Maritimes one of these days.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna start walking there right now.
Okay.